In this example, we're going to look at factoring a trinomial when the coefficient of the first term is not 1. In fact, whenever I look at this, the first thing I notice is that it's negative. Anytime we want to factor these polynomials, we can't have a negative in our first coefficient. So let's factor out the negative sign first. Factoring out the negative sign changes every sign that we have. Now let's look at this trinomial right here. Since this is not 1, here's the process. We're going to use the grouping method. And this method says we take the first and last coefficients and multiply those two together. Now, we need two numbers that satisfy two conditions. We need them to multiply together to give me that product of 36, and we also need those two numbers to add up to give me the middle coefficient of 12. If you don't know right away what two numbers would satisfy this, then write every pair of numbers that multiply to give us 36. We would have 1 times 36, 2 times 18, 3 times 12, 4 times 9, and 6 times 6. The pair that satisfy these conditions here are 6 times 6. Now we're going to rewrite 12AB as 6AB plus 6AB, using those two numbers that we found in the previous step. So we have now we're going to factor this by grouping. Let me write this on a new slide. Remember, in factor by grouping, you look at the two parts separately. We want to look at this group and see what we can factor out of that group. What does that group have in common? That group has 3, because 3 can divide both 9 and 6. It also has an A in common and a B, because we can pull one A out of each of these. We can pull one B out of each of those. So in parentheses, we're going to write what's left after we factor out that. 9 divided by 3 gives me 3. When I pull one of these out, I have 1 left. Again, when I pull one of those out, I have 1 left. 6 divided by 3 is 2. And since we pulled out both A and B, we have no A and B to put next to the 2. Now let's see what we can factor out of the second group. Out of the second group, I can pull out a positive 2, since 6 and 4 are divisible by 2. When I pull it out, I'm left with 3AB plus 2. Since these parentheses are exactly the same, we can factor by grouping by putting this out, pulling the 3AB plus 2 out, and I like to cross these out to see what's left. In this parentheses, we write what's left. 3AB plus 2. And don't forget to pull down your negative sign. Since these two parentheses are exactly the same, we can also write this as negative 3AB plus 2 all squared.